There we go. Okay. Gotta do one thing here very fast, and that is... turn my turn my headphone levels down. There we go. That was way too loud in my own ear. There we go. Mic 100. Mic threshold gate. Let's turn that down a little bit more. Here we go. And I think we're good to go. Alright. Hey everybody, hope you guys have all been having a good day. Sorry for not being able to stream yesterday. One of my wisdom tooth kind of cracked open more than it already has been, so like the inside of my wisdom tooth is just kind of out for the world to see. So I made an appointment to get it removed here. I've had problems for it for a long time, but yesterday, if you guys have ever had tooth pain, you guys know how it can just just kill the mood in a heartbeat. So yeah, and hey Cape Cod Mama, hope you're doing well. Nice to see you back. So today, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about the overall market, some of the debt limit stuff, some stuff that's going on in the news with Ron DeSantis about to hop in here, I think with help from Elon Musk or something like that, which should be pretty interesting. And then we're also just going to talk about what's going on here with just flat out Bitcoin, some of the technicals from a weekly chart perspective, because we're at a major level of support, and we're going to be seeing if we can have a really nice bounce as far as Bitcoin's concerned, as we look to bounce off some of these 200 weekly moving averages, okay? Now, one thing, I probably am going to take my mother to Las Vegas sometime next month. Next month is June. Sometime next month if I can, so I'll keep you guys updated with that one, because I'll be gone for maybe just 2 days, maybe 3 days, 2 nights or something like that. Just a short little trip over there to treat my mom to have some fun, because she's never been to Vegas before, and she's been asking me to go for quite a bit of time now. So, hey Max Power, nice shirt, man. Hope you're having a good day. So far, having a good day. Besides the weird tooth pain stuff going on, I think I'm doing good. I've been chugging a bunch of water. I just got back from a walk with Loki. Things are doing pretty well. I went back to that clothing store and bought even more shirts. Now I just have like 5 Hawaiian shirts and a bunch of golf shirts and a few khaki shorts. But yeah, so I am getting prepared to go to Vegas here pretty soon. I was going to take my mom in August, but I bought the tickets. I bought my mom and I first class tickets to Las Vegas because she's 6'4". She needs her leg room. But it conflicted with her trip to Hawaii with the rest of my family. I thought my family was going to their trip in June. Turns out they're all going to Hawaii in August. So I'm going to actually take my mom to Vegas in in June or July. I'm hoping I can do it June, but maybe it might be early July, maybe even during 4th of July here. So I had to cancel my my flight and her flight to go to Las Vegas first class in August. But I have to tell you, I normally don't fly Delta. Normally I fly Alaska, but my mom asked if we can go through Delta because she heard they had a really good lounge or something like that. And I go through the Alaska lounge. The lounges are nice, but they're just lounges. And it turns out first class tickets for domestic flights do not actually get you into the Delta lounge. You have to be on a first class flight international to get in there. And I was just like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I'm never going to fly first class on Delta since they don't give me the lounge access, which I think is kind of nice if you guys are paying for the first class tickets, which are kind of more expensive if you guys don't know. So this for this upcoming trip, since I got my money back, or when I do get my money back, I'm going to be booking with, I guess I'll probably buy it before that, but I'm going to be booking through Alaska because Delta, they can suck my butt. I was just so ticked off about that because I don't have any fancy credit cards. I don't really put much on credit cards. It's all unless I just want to get the rewards or something. However, I am excited to say I will be taking my mom to Las Vegas sometime next month or the month afterwards. July is usually a pretty busy month with me because my sister's birthday, my grandmother's birthday, my dog's birthday, Loki's birthday. So if I go to Vegas, it'd be in the first week of Vegas, first week of July. Otherwise, I'm going to try to go there. I'm going to either take my mom because she wants to stay at a nice hotel, or my mom doesn't really care, but I want her to have a good first Vegas experience. So I'm either going to take her to the Bellagio, or I'm going to take her to the Aria. So both very nice hotels. I think they both have decent rates right now. They're not too expensive because there's no expos going on. So I'm gonna book a hotel there, and I think she's gonna like it a lot. And I'm gonna have to get my mom a scooter so she can go scoot around Vegas. And she's gonna try out the Bellagio buffet, which I'm gonna take her to. And then I'm also gonna take her to a place called Prime Steakhouse, which is at Bellagio. And then we're gonna go to Catch at the Aria. So we have like 2 nights, 3 days to kind of chill out. We're leaving early morning and then leaving late at night. So we'll have a whole bunch of fun stuff to do. All I gotta do is figure out how to get my mom a scooter so she can scoot around Las Vegas. Because she will pretty much just gonna stay within like a 3-block radius of where the Bellagio and the Aria are. And then spend like a little bit at the pool. I think I'm gonna pay for her to get a spa treatment or something for her face if she wants it. So she can go out there and relax a little bit. She's had a rough few weeks with her like little port coming back out, having the surgery and stuff. So hopefully that'll be good. And we'll be out 3 days. That way she doesn't miss any dialysis appointments, which she cannot miss those. All right, but hey, Max Power Cape Cod. I know you guys already said hello, but just reiterating that. Hey, Nico, let's go. Island time. Hope you're doing well. I like the music in the background. Yeah, so I can't hear the music, but I'm hoping it's not too loud. If you feel like the music is too loud, just let me know and I will lower it for you guys. I just am testing this out because every time I go and use this music provider, this is music that's approved for YouTube. They turn off music and turn on music, different themes, because they want me to pay for the music that I get used to. So I used to listen to a lot of lo-fi music. Now the lo-fi music costs money. I used to listen to a lot of the EDM music. Now the EDM music costs money, but they'll let it be free for a little bit. Right now you're listening to the Hype Banger playlist, I think it is. So enjoy it and let me know if it is too loud. I can easily just turn it down just a nudge. And hey, Larry, rebought some of my Boreal calls. Originally bought 3 calls expiring January 2025 for 150, 240s rebound. Rebought some today at 175. It's steady and the key is 312 level. Yeah, so far the commodities market has been kind of going all over the place. I noticed that today I was watching CNBC. I think I kind of around the closing bell or something. And I did notice that we had. They said it was copper was going to like new lows for the year or something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So like all the commodities are all over the place here, even though we should be building up quite a bit of houses at this point, right? Let's see. And hey, James, as far as everything right now, I'd be buying here because we're at major support levels. I'll go into it here pretty soon. So to start things off with, let's move this over here. Let's move that down there. Let's go over here to this one. So one thing I just wanted to tell you guys before we start going into technical analysis and some of the new stuff here, if you look at the last 60 days for Bitcoin, we're only down 1.5%. This last 60 days has been kind of a mini roller coaster, but we really haven't done all too much. And that's just kind of to say, hey, you know, as much as you want to hold and have some fun with it, just remember that last 60 days pretty much been sideways with a couple big pops here and there. We will be doing some technical analysis just here in a few minutes, but I do want you guys to look at that 200 weekly moving average there. We could be looking for a really solid bounce and then breakout, then surging back up here to 32,000. So we'll talk about that opportunity here in a few minutes as well. And then, you know, of course, I would bring up Ethereum as well. Okay, a few things here. So one thing that's just kind of more interesting here, Netflix password sharing crackdown rolls out in the US. I don't know if this is going to hurt or help Netflix, but I keep an eye on their share price here going forward, especially if we're going into a recession. That'll really drop the numbers hard because people just won't pay for it. All right, the other big news here is Republicans question June 1st debt ceiling deadline as talks zero in on potential trade-offs. It looks like they're still making a snail's pace to get a deal done. Guys, I feel like they're going to get a deal done because I just don't think they're stupid enough to cause the default of our debt. I think Republicans and Democrats are going to use all the leverage they have, and then a deal will get done, and you know, we'll be fine. When that deal is announced, I do think the stock market will have a very robust day, and I do think that would actually help out Bitcoin quite a bit as well. They seem to be inching closer. I don't know exactly when that deal will be done, but I think Republicans said they want to have it done by the end of this week. So let's assume Sunday or maybe Saturday. You know, they could order pizzas and stay in. I think that's what the Republicans actually did yesterday. So looking forward to that. You could expect a big pop when that news is announced, if that news is announced. Another thing here is keep an eye on what this guy's right here is saying. McHenry. We always talk about the speaker, McCarthy, but McHenry right here, he's always in the thick of it This guy is really the, I think the smartest Republican in DC as far as how he maneuvers. So keep an eye on him. He has way more power than you guys would think. He's always that guy in the background who doesn't really seek the spotlight, but he's there making decisions. Okay. One other thing here, this is more of the political thing. I thought this was pretty interesting here. If I could just click on that without all these ads popping up. So it seems like, oh no, this isn't it right there. Never mind. I don't care about the mega donors. Maybe it was actually on CNBC as well. Walt Disney's doing some more layoffs, but I guess it was back on CNBC. It must have been millionaires. No, 35. No, I don't care about 35-year-olds. If you're 35, sorry. There we go. There was this one right here. So it looks like Ron DeSantis is about to enter into the race here. I haven't been hearing much about him at all, but I think he's supposed to do something on Twitter tomorrow night and announce his campaign with Elon Musk on a Twitter Spaces. So get ready for that. This isn't really having anything to do with the markets, but you know, as far as the economy goes in the future, this is going to spice things up a little bit here, and I'm excited to see where all this goes. I think right now we have like, I don't know how many Republicans in the race. We got Trump, DeSantis about to go, Tim Scott we talked about, the lady from South Carolina, I forgot, she was the, Nikki Haley is her name, maybe Mike Pence, and there was like a Sununu guy, maybe Chris Christie, maybe Mike Pompeo, maybe, I don't know, but there's like a lot of people jumping into this race all of a sudden, so should be interesting. And I think on the Democratic side, we only have 3 so far. We have Joe Biden, we have the Kennedy guy, who I like a lot, and then we have, what's that girl's name? Somebody, Margaret or Margaret or something like that. So we only have 3, I think, on the Democratic side. Oh, and there's some Indian dude running on the Republican side as well. I forget his name as well. I'm not really following these guys too much right now. When the elections start rolling around, I actually start to pay attention to what's going on here. But I live in a Democratic state. I'm more moderate, so usually we just kind of vote for the most progressive person. So my vote really doesn't have a lot of meaning until we get to primary season, I guess. So we'll see after how that goes. But keep an eye on DeSantis. It'll be very interesting to see how all this kind of plays out. Oh, he almost looks like I don't know. His eyes look really weird right here. But anyway, big news stories today. Just kind of watch out for some of that political news coming out. I have a whole bunch of shorts coming out too, talking about the Federal Reserve Chairman and the old Federal Reserve Chairman Bernanke doing some stuff. So keep an eye out for those ones. And then as far as Fairdesk and copy trading is going, I haven't had a chance to do too many copy trades, mostly because, as you guys know, Bitcoin has just been kind of sideways for the past few days, and I don't really like trading in sideways markets. But I don't think I'm on the front page of this, but if I go to 7-day follower profit, I'm usually in the profit side. Yeah, so I have 24 followers now. I think the last time we talked, it was up to like 15 or 16, so more followers. Thank you guys for following me. And I don't have the most money for my followers. I think that's Sauger or Trade King over here, looking really nice, and same with Expert Student Class. But we're making good money despite only having 24 people following me, which I like is good. 24 people making a total of $1,100 versus 180 people right here making $6,300. I think something's working out very well there. I think you guys are just taking on way more risk than I would take, and that's fine by me, but it's just more way more risk. Like this guy has almost 300 people following him, and all the followers made about $2,000 profit, but I made over half of that with 24 people, which I think is pretty good. I think everybody has still made money so far. I haven't been 100% accurate on my trades, although I never said I was going to be. But yeah, everybody's been making some money, and I have been enjoying that quite a bit. If I can zoom in here a little bit. This is only the first page, but you got $865 here, $123 here, $123 there. See, it all depends on how much money you guys invest. It's kind of interesting. This guy's been following me. This guy or girl has been following me for 12 days. They're up to $123. This person's been following me for 63 days, but up to $123. So I think it all just depends on how much leverage you use and how you copy. This person's been following me for 19 days, but only made $3. And it doesn't matter how much money you guys follow with me with. I'm not going to have a limit. I may have a limit eventually, but that limit is going to be something like $20, something like that. Because I think there's one person who's following me who doesn't have any money, like this guy. 11 days, everybody's made money. This person I think just started following me yesterday. I don't know if I did a trade until after he followed me, but this person's been following me for 11 days, they don't really have any money in the account, so I may hit the remove button on them. But as long as you guys have like $5 or something, I don't think there's a minimum to it. I don't know how Fairdesk does it. Should be good to go. So I am happy that I've been making some good trades for you guys as well. Now let's move it down over here to Bitcoin so we can talk about that. Let me make sure everything's working out here. China had lower expectations for growth announced, and I think yesterday I need to find out. I think there was a 3x bull ETF copper. Oh, that might be interesting. What I heard from China today was actually, I think they're about to have another COVID outbreak. And yeah, you heard that right. COVID outbreak in China. Was not expecting that. Let me actually see if I can pull up that news very fast before we start going to the technicals. Because once we're in the technicals, we're going to stay there for a while. But like, China COVID. Yeah, here it is. CNBC TV 18, Bloomberg. Let's go to Bloomberg because I trust them more. Oh, I don't know if they're going to charge me for it though. No, they're going to charge me for it. We can go to CNBC, I guess. CB guys, I've been dehydrated the last few days. It's been making me really freaking grumpy. I don't know if you guys have ever been grumpy, dehydrated, but there I have been. There we go. Report of new COVID wave in China pushes shares of vaccine makers higher. But I don't care about the vaccine makers, to be honest with you guys. But basically, do they not have a story? There's no story. It's just a video. I don't care about the video talking about... See, this is why I don't like CNBC articles most of the time. Maybe this one? I never heard of this channel, Wyon, before. I feel like my computer's doing something bad, or maybe it's, I don't know. Let's go to CBC TV. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, China is facing a new wave of COVID-19 infections that could see as many as 65 million cases per week by the end of June. This alarming prediction was made by a respiratory disease specialist, Zhang Nanshan, at biotech conference in Guangzhou. Zhuang's estimate provides a rare glimpse into the potential impact of the latest Omicron variant, XBB. Now, I haven't been keeping track of COVID in a while, guys. COVID in my life is just... I think I have some masks behind me over there that got so much dust on them because I haven't touched them in months. Maybe more than months, geez. Okay, but basically, according to a Bloomberg report, XBB is expected to result in 40 million infections per week by the end of May before peaking at 65 million a month later. This comes nearly 6 months after Beijing dismantled its COVID zero curbs, allowing the virus to spread rapidly amongst the country's 1.4 billion residents. In the wake of this pivot to living with the virus, the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention stopped updating its weekly statistics earlier this month, leaving many questions about the true impact of COVID-19 in China. Okay, so this may be a hidden nugget of like, oh dear Lord, please don't let this be true, because this could really put the market back down. If you guys all remember, what's the biggest bubble we have right now? It's pretty much tech. Tech has been going up and up and up and up. I think Qualcomm today went to all-time highs. Yes, you heard that right, all-time highs. And because of that, you know, if this China thing causes somewhat of a bubble to pop because there's a supply chain crunch again, which leads to higher inflation. It's just going to be something we really don't want to deal with, guys. But okay, hey Hiram, hope you're doing well. What's right here? About 30% of my portfolio services China, so I'm familiar with the region. Yeah, I really hope that COVID thing is just like, I don't know. I just hope it's not true. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. And hey, Kryptonite, I'll answer your question in a few minutes. I got to start off with Bitcoin, then go over to another question we had about there, and then I'll head over to XRP for you. So, something interesting here, guys. We are looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart here. We are hoping that we can get some type of support. Over here, we didn't really have much support in the past off of this because we really don't ever break down below it, to be honest. So let's go over here to Coinbase. There we go. From here, I want to go to log so we can just kind of see some of the historical stuff a little bit more. So rarely do we actually break down below it. We have COVID right here. I will consider COVID a kind of its own little thing. But you can see we held on to it beautifully back over here during the 2018 bear market. Way back over here, we broke down just a little bit. Normally, this is where bear markets tend to reverse and have some really big moves. You can think of this, all of this happening in a normal bull market. So, you know, This is in 2009, 2011. You know, this is coming out of the Great Recession, as they call it. And we've been good so far. We really haven't had a major recession since then. Now, going over here. Let me drag this down just a little bit. To add a little bit of a magnet here. For this one, actually, let's just extend this to the right. There we go. Alright. So you can see we did have a breakout of this. Oh, it changed up on me. That is weird. Okay. You can see we had a breakout. We retested twice before making that really large move up. And I think this was back during, this retest was way back in the banking crisis of March. So, we managed to finally break back above this 200 weekly moving average, and we've been testing it out for the past few weeks. We have a great opportunity here, if I go back to the daily chart, to actually bounce off of it and then have a breakout, kind of a smaller version of what we've seen so far. Have a breakout, or at least retest the 28,700 level, maybe just 27,800 if we kind of wait a little bit longer. 27,800 is over here if we wait till June. If we can get a really big boost, which is kind of hard in the next 2 days to go all the way up to 28,700, you know. But we have an opportunity here, guys, to have a pretty big move over the next few days. It can be fueled by a number of things. Right now, the technicals are looking okay for a rebound. If we go over here and look at the daily MACDs, if I kind of squeeze this up, you can even see we're having a little bit of a breakout here, or a crossover. So that's a pretty good sign for us at the moment. We really don't have much of a divergence just yet from some of the oscillators and things like that. Maybe I can actually go over here and just do one of these presets. I made a 3-hour long trading view tutorial for you guys. Go make sure to watch it if you guys want to learn more about trading view. And one of the things I've been just using more, I guess, is these oscillators here. But we have had the crossover here for the stochastic RSI. I don't put as much stock into this one, honestly. We got the RSI still here, not being overbought, oversold, more in the oversold territory though. And then we got the CCI way down here, not doing anything crazy. We were kind of at a low point down here. That may have been a good buying opportunity. But so far, we're just casually moving up just a little bit. Momentum is on our side, or at least not against us, I would say, in the majority of these types of plays. Main point being here, we should be due for a nice little pop here, and I'm hoping that pop can at least take us back up here to, oh geez, this has the volume, I hate the volume. What do you call it? I'm hoping it can take us right back up here towards $28,000 if we're lucky. After that, we may have to face a little bit more consolidation as we kind of deal with this debt ceiling crisis. However, we're in a pretty good spot to try to make a reversal from here and try to go back up. There really isn't a huge reason for Bitcoin to have a massive breakdown from here. So, what is going on here? Did it get rid of all of my indicators by going to a preset? I think it did. I don't use the desktop version too much, so I think when you actually do a preset, it takes away all the indicators you had. It did take away all the indicators I had. Wow, that is wild. Okay, no more presets. I probably did this a long time ago, and it just got etched in my mind not to do it. But since I did a tutorial for you guys, I was like, why not do it here? It may be a little bit different, but wow, that is new to me, or a refresher for me, I guess. Okay. But on the daily here, get ready for a breakout. I would assume over the 20-day moving average. You know, I could see us going as far as 28,322. Do I think we're going to break out? Probably not. But I do think we have a good opportunity here for a pretty solid boom over the next few days. If you guys are buying in anticipation for some type of larger move, that stop loss you guys are looking for is going to be somewhere around $26,000. I think 26,000 even is going to be fine, but if you really want that low point, it could be 25,821. So maybe just $25,800 or so. That's good enough for me. Now, on the weekly side here, though, let me move this oscillator back down. In fact, let me just get rid of it for now. The weekly MACD, on the other hand, is just looking very, very, very bearish. We haven't had to deal with the MACDs over here for a while, and they usually do lag just a little bit. I guess you can see on this one here, if I were to kind of line this up with a horizontal, or excuse me, a vertical line, we had the MACD breakout here, and you can see how it took weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks before we ended up coming back up and the momentum truly shifted. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when I'm talking about this crossover we're looking at that could possibly happen in the next like 2 to 3 weeks or so, okay? Now, there was FTX in here, which kind of messed stuff up. However, we never actually had that other that secondary crossover. Now, if I were to get out of this very fast, let's go back over here. Previous MACDs in the weekly chart, you can see where the crossover right here didn't really amount to much, because remember we were talking about the death cross coming, and boy oh boy did that death cross come. Then we had the breakdown here, that meant something. Over here, this meant something. Over here, this meant something, excuse me. So usually it is a pretty good signal, but it hasn't been as reliable, I would say, the last few crossovers. So hopefully that gives us a little bit more hope that we have an opportunity to break out. And if we do manage to break out here and the economy is still hunky-dory, we do have a chance of going up to maybe $33,000, $34,000, which kind of brings us back up here to these levels we saw back in January of 2022, which I mean, let's be frank, it's been a while since we've been at these levels, and I think a lot of people would frankly enjoy them. And that would also give us a golden cross here between this 20-week moving average and this 200. Now, on the downside here, let's see over the next few weeks we don't really get a deal done. Things aren't looking as good. Maybe some of the inflation data coming out this Friday, not CPI, I think this CPI or something like that, or CPI, PPI, something like that. There's inflation data coming out this week. Perhaps it's not so good and we end up coming back down because of rate hikes and stuff. Maybe we have to change our calculus for that. You know, this would be a pretty devastating downward move, which is why I would say have that stop loss kind of around $26,000. Because if we do break down, you know, it would be a pretty seismic move, and by that I mean like 1,000-point plus drop within a couple days, maybe up to 1,500 points in a week. So just keep that in mind here. I do think it would be a good buying opportunity for a big pop on top of that, but just be prepared in case for some reason over the next few weeks here we do not have the big breakout that we're going to be hoping for. Okay, now going over to some of these other coins here. Let's go back over to YouTube. Who's going? Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, let's go over here to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum isn't really looking anywhere close to this 200 weekly moving average. In fact, we just had a death cross here, which is very, very interesting. I normally don't put as much weight on the weekly moving average as I do Bitcoin, but we did have a death cross here, which again was just interesting. Now, another death cross, another crossover coming over here as far as the MACDs are concerned. We'll see it again. It hasn't been 100% accurate, just like with Bitcoin, but we have an opportunity to bounce up. And just with that opportunity to bounce, we have another opportunity to have a really nasty move down, but below the 20-week moving average. You can see the last time we crossed a moving average on the weekly chart, it was this one. It was a beautiful bounce. We had weeks of resistance up against that 50-week moving average. Over here, a huge breakout above the 200 and the 20. Really nice move there. We had a really negative few days here. This was more of banking crisis, I think it was, maybe. FTX over here, so take it with a grain of salt, but a big move over here. Choppiness over the 200 here, so again, be careful with that. Resistance, then breakout, then resistance over here, false breakout there. A lot of volatility. But as we get closer to these moving averages, you're going to be expecting more volatility is my point here. Now, I'm hoping, just like with everything else here, we can have a nice little breakout. For Ethereum, if I move this MACD down a little bit more, or in fact, I might as well show this to you. We have our first crossover on the bullish side here since we had that death cross way, I still want to say that death, bearish crossover is what I should be calling it. I'm just a little bit off. I'm hoping we can have another type of breakout here happening soon. You can see Ethereum had a good day yesterday off of that breaking out above the 20-day moving average. Big moves here with the moving averages. Minor move here, so don't think it's going to happen 100% of the time. But usually when we do end up breaking down below it, it is some pretty big moves. Okay, but as far as Ethereum's concerned, it still looks okay to buy it. That stop loss you're going to have is probably around $1,700 though. That would probably give you a loss if it did break down here of about 8% or so. So, you know, hopefully you could have bought some a little bit earlier, kind of when the MACD was crossing back over, or just when we started to hit this zone that we've had since I guess way back over here. Might have actually been moved up a little bit. Let's move this up just a teeny bit to that resistance level from over here. Yeah, so that zone really only gave you really one this is my type of buying, so conservative buying opportunity. It's more aggressive for me to buy over here, but you have if you wanted to buy I would still give yourself maybe a stop loss of around 1791, so maybe around 1800 instead of 1700. Or maybe you cut the difference and go 1770, that's the one below it. That way, if you're breaking down here, you at least know you're breaking the system of higher lows, which has been giving you a nice little uptrend so far. If I go back over here, put this magnet on, there you go. Held support here. Maybe you can just use that as your stop loss, and then you can do a switcheroo and actually short the sucker back down if it does break down. But the momentum is definitely coming down overall. Just don't forget that all the momentum we've seen with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these tokens over the last few days, the momentum is definitely coming down. We're just hoping that we can break that cycle. At this point, we're kind of at a bottom part of a cycle, so this is your opportunity to buy if you guys haven't done it already. Now, as far as other altcoins, we can stop off with XRP very fast, and we'll just kind of go down the list here and see what's going on. If I can even find XRP on my list, there we go. XRP's been having some good news based on like lawsuits and stuff like that, so it's a little bit different than everything else. We've seen how it basically has been bouncing off of some of these Fibonacci levels that we've had in place for a while. So far, that next resistance level is a little bit above this, kind of around 0.479, so almost like 0.48. And we saw the breakdown that happened right here. We don't need that breakdown. We're done with that. This is a daily chart. How do I want to do this with you guys? Right now, I would really emphasize that you can see what was happening between this 50-day moving average. If Bitcoin could just make that one big pop up, I do think it'd be much more of a larger breakout. We haven't had a breakout above the 50 in a while. Like there's that one right there. This is a small one. We really didn't do too much. This one we kind of closed. We closed above it, opened below it, and we just kept on coming down from there, haven't we? Volatility. Yeah, let's look more volatility. I would really have a price target over here, maybe around 48, 49 cents. Now, let me see if I can actually put a Fibonacci extension on here and just take off the Fibonacci retracement levels. Oh, which one's best? Let's just go here to here. Yeah, we bounced right off of it right there. A little support here. So yeah, if you wanted to be buying during this time, you'd be looking for your first price target of 0.4854. After that, you might be looking something over here between 0.4867 to about 0.4997, so almost 50 cents here. If I can do one more here, maybe we could just say that, hey, we have a low here, high here, low here, if that is really the bottom. Let's see if this one actually gave us anything good to work with. There we go, it also popped up here. So if you're looking for something that gives you a little bit more of an aggressive play here, because you're expecting a really robust bounce off of the 200 weekly moving average as far as Bitcoin, Ethereum having a massive bounce as well and having its breakout, you could be looking for a 51 cent price target or 0.5117 price target here for XRP. Usually with these guys, you're looking for really good news on top of that, and that's how you can have those really robust moves. Because remember, this thing peaked way back over here in March. Everything else, like, not everything else, Bitcoin and Ethereum have been doing very well the whole cycle here, besides kind of going more sideways recently. You've been seeing altcoins be a little bit less optimistic. So because we're kind of close to the bottom of the cycle here, I would say it's an okay opportunity to buy. Stop loss is probably going to be around 44.5 cents though. To me, I'm not really buying much stuff yet. I'm kind of waiting to just see if we can get some more momentum on the upside here. Usually when we're really close to a moving average, that's when I like to buy if I'm buying kind of a no man's land. And for me, when you're looking at Bitcoin right now on the daily chart, you know, we haven't had the breakout yet. We're kind of in no man's land, so that's not how I trade. You guys know I like to trade the momentum. There's really not much momentum besides an overall downwards momentum. So once that momentum kind of shifts, personally, I'll feel more comfortable getting more aggressive here and going along. But my strategies are a little bit different, as you guys know. So at this point, if you guys are looking for a larger move, it'd be more of a day trade for me, because we are testing out this 20-day moving average. Today, Bitcoin could have a really nice pop, but I probably would sell the pop later on through today's candle, and I wouldn't be holding it for multiple days. So if you wanted to buy, it'd be much more of a short-term thing, in my opinion. For a longer-term buy, I want to see that overall trend shift, at least sideways. We're not sideways yet. You know, I guess we could say sideways, but here you can just see lower highs. I want to break that. I want to have a larger change of character here, if you will. But we're just not seeing that just yet. Maybe if we manage to break above 27,651, I'd feel more engaged here. Let me actually change the size of this so you guys can see what's going on. Scales. Oh, I guess it's appearance. Let's go over to 32. Let's go all the way up to 40 so you guys can see. There we go. I think that works for everybody. Okay, but quickly before we go over to everything else here, NASDAQ daily had a bit of a bad day here, but I mean, look at this. The NASDAQ has been pumping. It had a breakout a while ago. It's been doing just fine, and you guys can see it broke that resistance level over here. Now, we did break that support level that it gave us, but, you know, that's just because we had one bad day and people are starting to freak out a little bit about what's going to happen with the price ceiling. Weekly chart, look at that. NASDAQ has just been on fire. Just been on fire. Dow Jones, not actually on fire at all. This one's been going more sideways since excuse me, guys. Going more sideways since August of 2022. With a few dips here and there, of course, but you know, this is coming back down to support levels. So watch out for a breakdown on the Dow Jones. This could lead to some interesting stuff here. SPY, weekly chart, had a breakout, didn't mean squat. I guess just bad timing for a breakout is what we're probably looking at here. We did have a golden cross here a while ago that did leave us to a little bit of a boom. At this point, we just want to make sure we don't drop back down below that 50, or excuse me, that 20 week moving average here. On the daily chart here, the 20 doesn't really mean anything for us, as you guys can see, but we really just want to stay in this general uptrend here. We have a small one right there. I don't really think this means much because we could easily break down there and just keep on going more sideways. But the short term here is you guys don't want to break down below that. Really, though, you guys don't want to break down below this one. If it'll let me grab it. There we go. There we go. And even then, we might go more into this level. But if we start breaking down below this one, I think we're going to be coming back down here to like under 400, which could be, you know, a good opportunity to load up on some puts. We got some other ones over here. This is probably the largest one people are going to be looking at, but it's going to be some time before we actually come into contact with this one. This takes in the lows that we saw all the way back over here of last year, and it kind of brings us up to a point where, like, okay, if we start really breaking down from this, something really bad is going on. We really can't justify something really bad going on just yet, in my opinion. Okay, let's go back over here. Dollar index, we did have the bump. We did have the reversal here. Broke out above both the 50 and the 20, just like we did back over here. Looking fine. Weekly chart, reversal. We actually broke down really below the support level here. Maybe the support level was just a little bit lower, right around there. Maybe we didn't break down below it if I changed that. No, we still did. We still did. But I guess, you know, we're looking at more macroeconomic factors and stuff like that. However, we just broke above the 20-week moving average for the first time in a while. I wonder if that has something to do with why people are maybe a little bit more pessimistic. We'll see. The NASDAQ still found a way to go up the last few weeks, even though we were booming up as far as the dollar index. Just keep an eye on this one. The next big event, I would say, is if we manage to break above the 50-week moving average. That'd be something we haven't seen in a while, and I don't think we're actually at the 50. Like, if we look at this isn't equal 50 just yet. How many are we at just so far? Yeah, we're only at 25. So 32, 27, 25 is right here. Okay, so as we start giving up you know, candles that are kind of around $105 for candles that are kind of around $103, you might see the 50-week moving average go down just a teeny bit, but still more sideways action. So, you know, the dollar is going to have to rise and rise and rise if it's really going to come up here and actually challenge that 50-week moving average. So just keep an eye on it. As far as everything else, look at the weekly charts here, guys. We are in the midst of some breakdowns here, like ADA broke down a couple weeks ago. Dogecoin didn't break down, but it's close to having a breakdown here. Let's get rid of that one. We can do that right there. Just looking at some close support levels. I think some of these did break down, like Ape. Ape is having some issues, I think, because of their NFTs or something, though. We talk about them every now and again, but you guys know I'm no NFT expert. We talk about, what's it called? Ape NFTs. Yeah, Bored Ape Yacht Club, OpenSea. Okay. So I think it's the floor price that we were looking at before. Oh, geez, I wish I knew how this worked. Okay, analytics. Floor price. Aha. It's loading. So this thing has been going down for a while. I wish there was a way to look at this more in the past. Sales. There's been a lot of sales because the floor price has been so low, I guess. Maybe. Listings, a lot of listings and a lot of offers. Maybe I don't know how this works out. Top owners. These guys probably work for them or something. Binance NFT marketplace. Oh yeah, maybe they're just exchanges. I didn't know exchanges bought NFTs. See, I'm so out of the NFT loop here. Main point being, we have seen this been dropping quite a bit, so they kind of have a business model, and because you can see the business itself kind of eroding slowly, I think that just kind of pushes the price of the asset down even more. Now, as far as this is concerned, I think we're actually hitting somewhat of a Fibonacci retracement level here. If I can just do magnet 1, magnet 2. Yeah, we bounced right off of it there. This is usually a golden level that people really like to buy at. If you guys did want to buy some Bored Ape or Ape token, this is usually the time to do so, especially if you want to see that Bitcoin bounce coming from the 200 weekly moving average. Just being said, be careful here. This token has been coming down for a while, but usually when it comes down for a while, we have these nice low reversals. Just understand, we did have a reversal here, then it got slammed back down. I would move that stop loss up as the price goes up until you know for a fact you're going to make some profits. If I can get rid of this one right here, though, I wish there was a... I thought there was a token here that's 8, but I thought it was like a little bit longer charts. Maybe Coinbase? No, it wasn't Coinbase. Bitstamp? No. You know, I really thought there was one that had a little bit more history in it. Skilling... Pyth? No. Bybit? No. Okay, maybe I'm just wrong about it. OKX? That's a swap, so never mind. But yeah, so keep an eye out for those ones. AVAX, something similar here. We've all seen these smaller breakdowns. Nothing too crazy, but since we have had a lot of these breakdowns, we are looking for some of these. You can see how we're testing out support levels now. This is why we're seeing just a little bit of a slowdown here as far as altcoins, because altcoins have been really underperforming Bitcoin, really, and Ethereum as well, really just underperforming the larger market cap plays here. Again, nothing too crazy here. We've seen some breakdowns, no matter how you want to slice it. A lot of these tokens have been breaking down, hitting some resistance levels, but, you know, give it some time. Again, another breakdown. We don't have to go through everything here. Bitcoin Cash is something I'd really like to see have a really big bounce as a day trade. This thing was just going through freaking cycles over the past few months. Matic, coming here at support. We already talked about this one, but reversal if you guys wanted to buy. We talked about this, I guess, last week. That was your time. So far, it looks like a good trade. You can move your stop loss up if you guys did take this Matic trade, and then from there, you guys are looking at some short-term resistance, probably around 94, 95 cents. I'd move that stop loss up to wherever you bought it, though, just so you know you're not going to be losing any money. Because right now, you guys can see the weekly chart. We're at the 50-week moving average. You want to see that big move from Matic. So I would say Matic is probably one of those plays that I'd be looking at quite a bit if you guys are looking for either spot trading or with some leverage trading here. Anything else that seems interesting? We haven't talked about Sheeb token in a while. We kind of just see, hey, breakdown there, breakdown there. They usually continue on for a week or so. And here we go again. Support levels. If you guys want to buy during these support levels, you guys can. Just be responsible and have a stop loss. I was looking at Sheeb, I think, a while ago, but we had this crossover here, so I never entered into it right here, and we did come back down the next 3 weeks afterwards until this week, which were kind of a little bit more sideways. I think the daily one was also okay here, yeah. So the daily chart kind of break out, and that was right there. So I guess it was right here. We had a bad day, but then we started to move back up. Get ready for maybe Sheeb to have a pretty good day here today as we test out this 20-day moving average. This could bring us up maybe a few more percent. I don't exactly know how much, but if I do this, 5-10% day. Altcoins look like they really want to have at least one good day here, guys. At least 2 days of maybe going up 5-10%. After that, you know, we'll have to see what the consequences of that are. But since Bitcoin's at support, I think a lot of people are kind of excited to start buying just from a pure technical perspective. if we can just have that deal be announced as far as the debt ceiling, I think the market will be in a really good shape, and altcoins will go up probably 15-20%, and you'll see Bitcoin go up another maybe 3-5%. And I think that'd just be wonderful for the overall market. Ethereum may go up a whole another 7% just with this deal. As long as you don't have any bad economic like CPI or interest rate deal or information. I am just a little bit more concerned about what's going on with the dollar index at this point in time. That gives me a little bit of a pause, but we've been managing to do okay so far, even though we've had that rebound. Last thing here, which I don't think is too important to the majority of you guys, not for the YouTube breakout watch list. US oil is still, this is a daily chart, still kind of staying in this new support zone that we kind of had for it. Before we were looking at $70. It looks like that new support zone happens to be around here at just about 65 bucks. Oil's managing to go sideways. Let's go weekly chart here very fast. Still bouncing off of the 200 weekly moving average. Let's see where we can go, but you can see all these moving averages getting closer and closer and closer together. Something big is about to happen to the oil market, and I am going to be there for that one because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to check out. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Let's get that Bitcoin chart on here very fast. 15 minutes. Let's get the MACD. There we go. This is just a nice little 15-minute chart. And there we go. Okay. And hey, Nico, happy to see you back. Do you use margin on your stock account? So normally I don't, use margin. Margin for me, it's more of the fees are more expensive than I just trade futures. But when it comes to, stocks, I just prefer to trade leverage crypto over margin stocks because the fees are just so much cheaper when you think about it, or for me at least. But even when you do margin crypto, that's still crazy expensive in my opinion, like just crazy expensive. So I tend to stay away from margin. I really prefer doing leverage trading because then I know I know if I lose the trade, I know exactly how much I want to lose, and I don't have to worry about the fees or the debt structure around it personally. Now, if you want to use it, go for it, but just I'd always recommend getting less leverage than you think, usually cutting it by half the first couple times. But if you've done it a few times so far and you like it, you can stick with it for sure. It's just me being overly cautious, and I just hate the fee structures for them personally. But it's not a bad thing to use margin by any stretch. It's just something that I don't like because I'm stingy about fees. I'm very stingy about fees. That's why when I was when I was going over all the offers that Fairdesk was giving me and a couple other exchanges to do sponsorships, I was like looking at their proof of reserves, I was looking at their fee structures, and I was like, hey, this is what Fairdesk did that I really liked. I was like, hey, if I partner with you, can you give my my users less fees than everybody else? I'm like, oh yeah, we'll give them VIP 1 level or something like that, or VIP 2 level, so you guys don't pay as many fees if you go on Fairdesk. I don't think it's still the best fees out there, but it's always nice to pay less fees, especially if you're going to get the proof of reserves that I think everybody is looking for these days. Out of just rightfully so looking for that safety because of all the craziness we had with FTX and Celsius and Voyager and what's the other one that fell off? I forget what it's called, but there was another one, of course. But yeah, always have to be safe there. Let's see. And then Mystic, we're going to go to the past 7 days to see more data. Oh, I don't know which for what token. But yeah. Hey, Julio, I'm doing pretty well. Long day. I got my not molar. What do you call that tooth? The wisdom tooth. It cracked open, so I'm in a little bit of pain right now, but it's not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. That wisdom tooth's been in bad shape for a while there. I try to brush my teeth as much as not as I can, but I do a good job brushing my teeth because I smoke cigars. And that wisdom tooth grew into a molar as I was growing up, so it pretty much destroyed one of my molar teeth when I was in college, and so I have no back molar there. So if I get the wisdom tooth taken out, I'm going to have no molar and no wisdom tooth, which is going to be really sucky. But that's because it just looked like, imagine a wisdom tooth just growing into the molar, so much so that it just literally ground a hole into my molar, and the molar just couldn't stand up to it, which sucks. But it looks like I'm going to be going under some surgery here the next couple weeks. So, hey, I'll get some opioids, I guess. So I'll be numbed out for a while, and I get lots and lots of antibiotics. I think you take like 30 to 45 days of antibiotics every day, and you're good to go. But yeah, it's like a constant pain, but I get used to that type of pain quite a bit. Usually what I'll do is I'll chop up some garlic and I'll just stuff it into the gap of the tooth. And usually that works out pretty well once the spice level goes down. BlockFi, thank you, Cape Cod Mama. That is exactly what I was thinking of right there. I think BlockFi, yeah, because I still get messages about BlockFi and their proceedings and stuff like that. Same with Voyager. I should do a Voyager update here because they've been doing a lot of crazy stuff. Not crazy, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on since Binance ended up rejecting their deal. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know why that happened. I hope Binance is good, but I think they are so far. But I do get letters every now and again from both of them saying, hey, here's what's going on, here's the new transcript, here's a correction for something we said. And so I will do an update video for Voyager here pretty soon where we can just kind of go over some of the articles, because I was so excited when things started to get rolling here between Voyager and Binance, but all of a sudden, boom, nothing ended up happening. Oh, and hey, Mystic Rain. Oh, I meant for OpenSea Analytics with that comment. I think it only lets you see 30 days, though, for some of them. Oh, see, yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't own any NFTs besides the ones I've made for fun, and those are all, in my opinion, worthless because I made them with Midjourney, and I just made them for fun. Now, there is a chance I'm going to partner with another website here pretty soon, and imagine it being, like, I'm working with TradeZing right now, but they'll go live, I think, at the end of this month or something. There's another website that some guys offered me to, they want me to upload a lot of my videos onto it and start uploading my videos like I do to YouTube over there. But they have, their website is in such a way that I could make NFTs and sell it through the websites, through their version of like a Web3 YouTube, so to speak. So I may end up doing that down the road, but I don't know if they're going to have like a minimum price to charge, because I'm sure they want a cut of that, just like YouTube wants a cut of everything I make. They probably want a cut. So I'm not entirely sure if I'll use the feature or not. But I know I've been saying I want to make NFTs for a while, but I just don't want to necessarily sell them, if that makes sense. Like, I may have to sell them for $1 or like 0.001 Ethereum or something like that, but I'm just not entirely sure how they work. And I'm not really entirely sure what I would give as an attachment to them, because I would have to work with a friend of mine that works over at Pinata. That way they can be keys that unlock something, unless I'm just going to be selling drawings or something. I can do some Loki NFTs and give them out for free if I can. I just don't know how it works. Maybe I'll pay some fees for it, I think, but I'd be fine for that. Yeah, see me. And hey, Marcus, I hope you're doing well, brother. How's Loki? Can you take a look at Dogecoin, please? Yeah, I think we only looked at the weekly chart, I think. Dogecoin daily chart here. Okay, had that crossover just like everything else. Dogecoin is really just at a big level of support here, but you can see we're definitely in this downward trend. We managed to break out of it just for a second, and then we got slammed back down, which was unfortunate. You guys can tell that some of you guys just asked about Loki, and he's right here looking at me like this and wagging his tail. So I'll show you guys him in a second. However, weekly chart I think shows a better example of what's going on with Dogecoin. We're at a big support level here. Normally, the last 2 times we've come over here, we've had a decent rebound. I'm not going to say epic rebounds, but we have had decent rebounds here. So you're still in a very good buying zone if you wanted to hop in here to Dogecoin. Now, if you're looking for some key resistance levels, for me, it's usually this kind of previous zone. So you see it, how do I say this? The body of the candle from the previous zone is usually what I'm looking for. So for me, like over here, it goes up to the body right there. Over here, I'd be looking for something more of around 9 cents. I would not be expecting something really, really massive. Maybe something really, really massive can happen. But since Elon Musk is giving up the CEO-ship, so to speak, of his company, I don't know how much more we're going to be hearing about Dogecoin and Twitter until things are really rocking and rolling, so to speak. Now, if I were to go over here, let me actually put the magnet on for us. There we go. This is just the weirdest chart because of what we have to look at, all the big moves that have happened. It's just not, I guess it's honored it a little bit. you know, you have a little bit of resistance here around 0.082. You have some up here around 0.098. Maybe that's something you're looking at. For me, I would just look at this and use this as a symbol here. And I think from the weekly chart, this does not go back in time far enough. I guess not for the 200. Maybe I go over here to Dogecoin here, you might be able to have a better understanding of where the 200 weekly moving average is. So this is Binance. We need to go to Coinbase maybe? No, apparently not Coinbase. Kraken? No. I guess Robinhood's on here. OKX? No. Longs, Bybit. Bybit maybe? No, okay. Maybe not. But you are getting pretty close to that 200 weekly moving average just as an update as well. Okay. But you're at that support level where if you buy, you have a nice, easy stop loss that's not going to kill you to have it down there. Okay. Fits data. And hey, Cape Cod Mama, be careful with the tooth pain. Oh, I know. I've had some really excruciating tooth pain in the past. It is just, ouch. Right now my tooth is open, so like because it kind of broke because of it's been bad shape for such a long time. You could like literally look into my mouth, and I'm not going to show you guys because it'd be nasty, but you could basically just look into my tooth and see the little gum tissue and stuff, little nerves. But I usually have a really clean mouth because I brush my teeth all the time. I use mouthwash every day. I use mouthwash twice a day, and so it's always been really clean. But what happened was, this week I ate some really spicy carne asada that I got from the butcher shop, and I put some extra habanero flakes on it, and that little bit of meat got stuck in there before I got a chance to brush it out with my my little Philips Sonic hair brush, and so it really aggravated it after I chipped the tooth there. So hopefully it'll get better soon, but I pretty much just have to go to the dentist and just get it pulled out, but hopefully it's not too bad. Usually when I get my wisdom tooth taken out, because I've had my wisdom tooth over here taken out, there's really no pain behind it. Not even afterwards have I ever had pain from getting a wisdom tooth out. So we'll see. But yeah, tooth pain is definitely the worst. Cloves, yeah, I've had cloves before as well. If you buy the cloves, you can cook baked ham that numbs your gums and antibacterial and antimicrobial. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. I'll have to try that one out then. Let's see. I hope you feel better soon. I will. And Loki is over here. Loki, come say hi. Here, I'll actually put him on the big screen here. Let's go to for daily upload section. And there we go. Come here. His ears are down. He's being a baby. Come here. Picking up your paws. Walk to me. You can see his ears are down right now. Yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah, so he's a big baby. If I give him kisses, he won't leave. Maybe. No. Oh no, he just flat out left. Oh no, he's coming back up for more. Huh? Oh, he wants pets. Come here. Yeah. No, he wants pets. He doesn't want it to be seen. He just wants pets on the head. He's wagging his tail. Yeah. Yeah, he's resting his head on my leg. He's been pretty chill all day. He's been mad that he can't play outside as much, that's why. Yeah, I'm waiting for the landscapers to come over and mow my yard. We've had so much sun that my grass just exploded out of nowhere, and I'm just like, I'm not the type of guy that mows my own yard, so... What do you call it? I hate doing it because I have tons of spiders and stuff, and they just crawl over me. I woke up last night freaking out because I had a fat spider on my arm biting me, and I killed it. Then I went back to sleep without realizing it, and then I woke up with a big old spider carcass in front of my face. So it was one of those juicy ones that pops when you kill it. So I was not happy with that. So I spent a large part of my day yesterday spraying around the house. And I'm gonna get some more spider traps and stuff because those are usually really good, and they're cheap at Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, Loki's underneath the desk right now, chilling out. Oh, now he wants more pets. Now come over here. But yeah, oh boy, guys, oh boy, spiders and me just don't get along. There we go. Okay. Now as far as we were talking about here, now Cape Cod, you said comp right here. Let's see. Where is comp? Comp is always interesting as something as a long-term hold to me, just because it's on Robinhood and it does have a lower market cap. if I can find the comp. Okay, let me just type in comp. I know I have it, but there we go. Comp. Daily. Let's go weekly first. Okay. Just like everything else, it did have a breakdown here. Oh no, it didn't have a breakdown. Oh, it had that breakdown a while ago. I'm thinking of the here to there, that breakdown. Don't worry about it for now because it's already happened a few weeks ago. As far as this one's concerned, this almost looks just like, excuse me guys, jeez. I've been drinking a bunch of water today because I've been dehydrated. Excuse me guys. Now, this actually reminds me a lot of Dogecoin here. Now, we're at a low support level here, so if you wanted to buy, your stop loss is probably around $32.50, maybe even just 33 bucks if you want to do it that way. If you want to go off of the daily chart, I'd probably say just have your stop loss be down here at around $33.55 or 51 cents, excuse me. So it's really not too bad of a place at this point. Now, what you're looking for right now is, this actually hasn't been as great for me as far as moving averages, just so you know, but because Bitcoin's looking like it may have a pretty nice bounce here, I do think you have an opportunity to get this back up from 35 bucks up to at least $39.40, excuse me. And what I'd be looking for here is just this small breakout right there. Okay, there you go. We're really close to it right now. If you wanted to, you could start accumulating some positions here. But for me, again, this would be something more of a shorter term trade. If you want to do a swing trade on this, let's say you buy right now at 35.26, my stop loss would be around 33.57, 33.51. If we break out and we start moving above 37, my stop loss then moves up to about where I purchased my first Solana for this, comp for this trade. Okay. Afterwards, you said comp, right? Yeah, comp, right? Yeah. Afterwards, I'd continue to play around with this a little bit more, but I would expect a lot more resistance as we start heading back up to 40, 42, then eventually back up here to 46. I do think it's possible, but you have to remember that even if you have a smaller breakout right here, Bitcoin itself is still going to have to deal with some of these smaller, these resistance levels until it gets to its breakout level, because Bitcoin's breakout level is far, far, far away, and you know how long it takes Bitcoin to make its way back up to some of these levels. 1, 2, 3 days, I would say. Takes a while. That may not seem a while to you guys, but to me that's a while, which is why I'm much more cautious about how I play these. But when it comes to something like comp, and I don't know if I can go back to it from here. No, it's fine. There we go. I'd just be looking to hold this for a few days at the most. Unless you're looking for like a multi-week trade. If that's the case, stop loss is still going to be at the same time, but you're really just going to forget about it for a while, and maybe just have your stop loss hit, and then you probably don't want to have a price target, to be frank. Your price target is probably going to be somewhere up here towards $47, all the way up here to 63. I might even cut the difference and say have your first big price target here around 50 bucks. And I know it seems kind of out there, but it could be a really nice move here because this thing has been known to have some really big pops. I would take advantage of those big pops. And again, the big pops happen because, if I can bring this over here, coin market cap, this is on Robinhood, and the market cap is only $352 million. I like Compound because it has a low market cap and because it is on Robinhood. The only reason I don't like it is because it costs 35 bucks. However, to me, this is going to be a solid thing to hold if you can buy it at a really good valuation during this upcoming recession. But I would say this is probably something I would have in the top 20 coins for dollar cost averaging. It'd be in the Compound. I know people don't talk about it as much, but this really did have an amazing time because it was on Robinhood. I do think it'll have a really good time this time as well. Only thing that could kill this for me is if somehow Robinhood removed it, and I've had no indication that they would do anything like that. So really good opportunity for long term here. Short term, you know, good, quick 10 to 15% like most altcoins here. Wait for that pop, but sell it fast. If I was me, if you're looking for something a little bit more than that, you're gonna have to hold. And if you want to play it safe as you hope for a larger move, I'd move that stop loss up as needed. Now, one last thing here is, since we do have the situation of higher lows and we haven't broken down yet. There we go. You can see it kind of worked out a little bit here. Not really here too much. You might have some resistance there at 37, but since we're breaking out, it should be able to break out above that quite easily. This is a weekly chart, so it may take a few weeks if you're looking for this longer term one, Cape Cod. And you may be looking something more around the realm of the $43.80, maybe $44. And I think, because I'm a little bit more conservative here, I would consider that to be my big level to kind of sell it at, because I don't know if we would actually break above the 20 and the 50 moving averages here. Maybe, maybe not. But I at least have a price target around that zone, and that matches up with one of the things we were just talking about a few minutes ago here. On the other hand, if you wanted to go daily, it's really not going to be as much of a help here just because of how small the time frame has been. We do have a higher low here. You'd have to be looking at some of the larger levels for sure, and that larger level is way up here, around $41, and that matches up with some of the resistance we're seeing right there. Okay, if we put that up to the weekly chart though, it's well below those moving averages, which is why I'm saying if you get close to here, you know, shave off just a little bit as far as the price target is concerned. Okay, 15, auto, there we go. Oh, sincere, I'll have to try that one out then. I don't think I've ever tried that before, filling in the tooth stuff. I may have to do that, because, yeah, damn, it can be annoying. See, yeah, what do you call it? Loki has been very cute so far. Yeah, I'm holding comp. I bought it a while back. It's something I would hold for a long period of time, even if it goes down really, like, even if it goes down to $200 million, $150 million market cap during this recession. If we have another big drop or something like that, I'd still be holding. I'd be adding to it, and then, you know, once I hit my goal, you just stop and you just kind of hit it. It's a waiting game at that point. But comp, remember, comp went extremely wild during the last altcoin season, but it did something really crazy, because on Robinhood it like went up like $100 more than everywhere else, so you could sell it at a very crazy high price. And you know, it like, I think it went up to like $700, $800 on Robinhood, but everywhere else it was only up to like $500, $600. It was something really crazy happening on Robinhood. I would take advantage in doing that. Doing that again. What's right here? And Sol, I don't know about. Do I have Sol somewhere on here? There we go. Weekly. Let's drag this off for now. Oh, I got rid of the MACD instead of actually the indicator here. There we go. Okay. So this is another thing that had a breakout, but this breakdown really didn't do anything, because we had this big spike over here, so you can see this there, the line that comes up. Okay. All right. So we've already had a breakdown here. I don't like this one as much as other tokens here. Maybe that's just because it's kind of plagued by bad news every now and again. In the short term here, you can see this falling wedge shape. All right. There we go. If we can just get a breakout there, I think it'd be a solid play for the short term here. Maybe you can get it up to 23 bucks or so. I wouldn't expect more than over here. This zone, I would call it, is... Let me just go over here. Do I have my rectangle? There we go. If you wanted to buy right now in case of a breakout that you think may happen in the future, or if you are just waiting for the breakout to happen some other time over here, I would be looking for this zone right here. The bottom zone is going to be $22.81 up here towards $24. That's where I'd be selling, even if it just wicks up here 100% out just like that. Now, we're not there just yet. You know, we're still kind of hugging, it looks like, this 200 daily moving average. However, you know, we can't keep on going down forever. We're kind of matched up with some of the support levels we saw back over here, right there, bouncing right off of it. As long as you don't really break down below this zone. Let me just make another zone here. Actually, yeah, let's imagine between these two white lines here. I think we should be okay. If you wanted to buy in before an attempted breakout here, I'd wait for the MACD crossover to hit, and maybe a crossover on the stochastic RSI to hit before you go buying into this. But I do think this is something where you can make another, again, like all these other tokens, a short, quick term profit here. Depending on how you guys want to trade this for a few days or a few weeks. It may get choppy in between the day or two and then the few weeks, but I do think it'd be safer than trying to hold for just maybe 2 or like 5 or 6 days, something like that. Holding a little bit longer may work out here. I could be wrong about that one, but I think if you have a nice breakout like this, it would be worth playing it. If it goes higher than this, I'd be surprised. You can see this resistance level kind of extends all the way back over here. And you know, we'll have to see if it plays a part in the future. See, and no worries. Oh, sorry about that, Sincere. I totally skipped over that. And GRT. Oh yeah, look at that, bouncing right off that 50-week moving average here. Didn't really I guess it did have a really nasty effect when we broke down below it. We ended up coming down 25%. Ouch. Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Okay, so we've already had the breakdown here, it looks like. Found some support back around here. That's fine. Let's go to daily. Oh, that's the 4 hour. There we are. Okay. Okay. So we've been consolidating for a very, very, very long time on this one, all the way since freaking, what is this, February? Yeah, like February 7th. Alright, so we already kind of had our nice little buying zone here. If you wanted to buy into this now, I would say it's okay just because we already broke out above the 20-day moving average. You can see how we're making higher lows here. Short term, I would consider doing more of a shorter term trade until it gets back up to maybe 13 and a half cents. That's going to probably give you a profit of about 7%, 13 and a half is around 12%. That's decent enough profit return for you. Just because we've changed momentum here, we have a change of character from here on out, and then we have this uptrend going from there. So as long as we don't break down below that, that'd probably be my stop loss for now. You could try to play this up towards, I guess, just 13 and a half cents to make it even. 13 and a half cents doesn't seem like a lot, but because it is at 12 cents, it should be a decent enough mover. Maybe at most a 10x leverage play here. Let me see. Yeah, you really have to do this as a. Let's go to the 4 hour chart for this one. Yeah, there it is, a little bit nicer. Let's see. Didn't even hold up here too much. It's breaking back down a little bit. Did we have any resistance here at all though? No, it just kept on coming up. Well, even though that one didn't work, you might have some more resistance around 12 and a half, then up here towards 12.77, then up here towards 13. 4 hour breakout there. Short term, I would still feel like 13 is a good price target here. If you wanted to hold it for a week, like I know some people are trying to hold it for like a week or longer, price target for this one probably be a little bit higher. Maybe something out around the realm of this the one level here, which is 14.18, or moving up here to 14.90. It may go higher than that, but usually when we come up here and test, we kind of get knocked back down, then we break out. So I would try to trade this as buy it now, or next day or so. Wait for it to. Where's my drawing at? Oh, there we go. Let it come back over here for a while. Let it get knocked back down, but this is where you sell it, somewhere in this range. It doesn't have to be the very top. Somewhere down here, even somewhere over here. Let it get pulled back eventually, then buy that pullback, and then have the trade where it breaks out, even double down if you want to, and that's how I'd be looking at it. But you don't know if it's going to make it here. You don't know if it's going to make it here, which is why it's okay to start scaling at there, then maybe there, and then buy back down here. I don't think if we actually come back down here, I don't think we'll make contact with this again, just because of the momentum of what Bitcoin's going to be have to doing. But I think it'd be okay to try to play it like that. You could just buy and then hold throughout the whole thing, For me, I don't want to be in the trade that long, but you could do that in theory, just moving up the stop loss as needed. I'm just afraid if you did move up that stop loss, it would get triggered before the next breakout. So if that does happen, just rebuy into it, if you will, maybe with less money, so you don't actually risk losing any money that you just made, unless you're really confident about the play. Oops, there we go. Okay. And hey, Bideford, happy to see you back. Works great till you get to the dentist. Default on the debt limit BRICS will be the solution to other countries. I don't know. Like, so far, BRICS countries are making moves steadily to replace the dollar and, you know, using it for trade and stuff like that. It is what you might call a threat, but I don't think it's something we should worry about freaking out wise just yet. But it is something where it just shows that our foreign policy really isn't at a good point, and I think this goes to like where our priorities are at. Each administration kind of has a different way of how they deal with countries. Joe Biden hasn't been that great so far, obviously, but Trump was okay. He was actually way better than I was expecting. I thought he was going to be a dumpster fire as far as world affairs. Trump managed to, I guess, piss off Europe, but actually like do better in Africa and the Middle East than I thought he was going to do by a lot. South America didn't really like him all too much. Central America didn't really like him too much, but they worked with him. Obama, again, kind of a dumpster fire there, but he was happy with the drone. He droned people too much, I guess. Obama. Bush, not too good. I think Clinton was pretty decent there. I think Bush, the old Bush, fine. We really don't have too many charismatic guys, and maybe it's just because Trump was a showman that he was able to kind of get along with all these people, but he was not getting along with the Western countries. He was getting along with like, the Africans and stuff like that. And it's kind of because we don't have anybody that like Africa really likes, so to speak, and this is kind of a weird thing to say, like, how can I articulate this in a proper way? Africa has a bunch of raw materials that we are going to need. A lot of stuff, okay? We have been giving them money and weapons and stuff for a very long time, but they have felt that we don't treat them with the proper respect. And it's usually because they don't have huge economies just yet, right? So they want to be treated kind of like as a Spain or a Portugal or a Greece, maybe not a France or a Great Britain or Germany, but you know, Yugoslavia, I don't know. They want to be treated a little bit better. And China is willing to pull out the red carpets for them, and that they're willing to put that extra effort out there when we're not willing to do that. And this goes with the entire negotiation process. And so what I've been noticing is Africa is getting pretty fed up with giving up their raw materials to get crumbs for what they end up being worth. So you see, you know, the parts of our phones, lots of minerals and stuff like that, they get dug out of the ground, they get sent somewhere else, and that something else gets turned into something worth a whole bunch of money. Well, you know, think of how after the Great Recession, we exported a lot of those blue collar jobs, as they're called, out to China, over to Mexico, you know. Well, they want to do the same thing for their countries. They want to have jobs exported over there. Not really American jobs, more of European jobs. Because you could even consider, I think, that the typical standard one that I would point you to if you guys ever wanted to research the topic just for the fun of it, maybe listen to a podcast about it, would be what's going on with Africa and their cocoa and the Europeans wanting to make chocolate. Africa wants to make their own freaking chocolate and say, hey, if you want to buy our cocoa, you have to make your chocolate here. Because they want those manufacturing jobs to grow their economy. But Europe just can't do that because what's going to happen with all their manufacturing jobs? They're going to get ticked off and they don't have any work for those people, right? So, you know, it's going to be an interesting road forward. But I don't think I'm so upset about how the dollar is kind of losing ground across the world. It's more about how other countries feel so safe doing it because we really don't have a great relationship with them. We're not the greatest at making friends, and I wish we could do that. I think when you're president, the priorities just seem so much more about what's going on in America, but you need to have somebody there, like at the State Department, right, kind of making sure everybody is happy. The State Department people aren't really doing a good job, and I wouldn't necessarily blame each president and say, like, you know, I don't think Biden is specifically why his administration is so bad with communication. I don't think Trump was solely the reason that his administration was so good at communication, and I don't think Obama was the reason why the administration was so bad, right? And I don't think Clinton was the reason it was so good. To me, it just seems at this point we really just don't have an idea of how to communicate properly with other cultures, and it's just kind of irritating because, like, it's something so small that you can do it. Don't be petty. Like, if they want to have a grand ceremony, if they want to have like 1 or 2 African countries come at a time instead of having all the African countries go over here for a conference at once, it's better just to, hey, let's do a trade agreement with you. Let's not do a whole trade agreement with the whole of Africa. Hey, country to country, we're both important. Not, hey, all African countries come over here at once so we can deal with you guys all at once and send you back on your way. It shouldn't work that way. And they don't feel like it. I shouldn't say it shouldn't work that way. They feel it shouldn't work that way. And so when you see stuff like that, it's no wonder that they're like, oh yeah, go screw the dollar. Let's go with the Chinese yuan or the Russian ruble, whatever it is. Who cares? You know, they don't respect us. So we'll see. And the thing is, they still want to work with us. It's just that we make it harder than it needs to be in order for that to happen. Because we're still America. We still have an economic powerhouse. They just, you know, we just have a way of screwing things up, I guess. You know, walking onto the rake, so to speak. What do I look for in quick scalp trades? Normally it's momentum, continual momentum on the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 15-minute charts, and then I'll look for a reversal trying to happen on a 1-minute or 5-minute chart. So, like, if I were to go over to Bitcoin very fast, when's the last time we had a solid momentum coming down? Okay, so what can I say here? Okay, so Bitcoin broke down here. We had momentum coming back down after a MACD crossover right there, so we were still in the momentum coming down. Okay, now after this zone, this in theory is where I'd want to be scalping. Not over here. Stuff went sideways, even though I wouldn't have known stuff was going sideways at the time. But let's go over here very fast. Let's go over to, where's my pointer at? There it is. Let's get rid of this. Okay, let's go over here to a 1-hour chart, I guess, for now. Okay, breakdown right here. And we have a MACD crossover finishing right there, and that's Sunday right here. Okay, so after this point here, we're also breaking down on the 1-hour, and we're also seeing MACD crossover. So once we start breaking down, what's the best way to do this? Fibs. This is fine for now, I guess. Okay, let's go over to a 1-minute chart. Let's make this full screen just for now. Oh, I directed when I shouldn't have. Okay. Let me just do a favor and lock this down. Okay. Sorry, this takes a second because I gotta drag it all the way back over there. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, if you're looking for a 1 to 2 minute scalp, you could have tried to scalp it from here with a price target of this. After the breakdown, this would have been a short-term scalp because you're already looking at that support level here. Afterwards, if you're looking for a scalp because you already understand all of the momentum is coming back down, you're really not going to be looking at the MACD for this one. Maybe if you want to look at a 5-minute MACD while looking at the 1-minute chart, you could have also put down a breakdown level right here. You could have had a scalp breakdown here. A lot of times we break down, retest, and continue down. You could have done something like this. Traditionally, though, you may just use a change of character if that makes your life a little bit easier. But let's see if I can show you this. Oh, actually, that actually worked out pretty well. You break down the trend here, or you wait for the change of character breakdown here, but that didn't occur until over here. Had a little bit of a pop, which kind of scared people out. Then it kind of moved back down to support level here. So normally you're looking for the trend to change here. Is my head blocking? Okay. You're looking for this trend to change after a major drop off, or you're already doing a longer type scalp. It's trade, but you're talking about a scalp right now. You wait for that scalp, you wait for that 1-minute uptrend to die, and then you wait for the breakdown after you find a support level. Usually the support level takes maybe about 15 minutes to an hour of consolidation time. In this circumstance, it took about, it takes about, since he broke down, maybe over here a little bit more. Yeah, this took about 53 minutes, looks like. But once you see that change of character happen here, right about there, you're going to be opening up a short. It didn't really work out too well because you might have gotten stopped out. Even, I guess the stop loss here would have been that last big pop right there, or right here, or right here. If you're going aggressive, it would have been right there, though. And then you have your price target. In this circumstance, you had a couple options because what you can see here is, I know it's going to look kind of funky, but you have your shoulder, your head, and your shoulder. You can see how maybe you can go like that. You see that breakdown that happened right there? You could have gone right there if you wanted to instead of right here. But a lot of times I don't trust head and shoulders when they're popping up on top of a 1-minute chart. Okay, but yeah, that's usually what I'm looking for. It's a little bit hard. Sorry, I just like completely dragged it over to my other monitor over here. But yeah, I'm usually looking for small momentum shifts, but I'd only be shorting into this. If I wanted to buy, it'd be a scalp buy, and it'd be off of these support levels. But we didn't hit the support here, so I wouldn't have done it. Right here, I mean, I guess you did have a MACD crossover right there, but I don't trust the MACD crossover is going against momentum. You could have bought right there, going back over here, broke down. You could have opened up a short right here as it was breaking down. Most of the time you wait for the revamp. What do we talk about? You could take this small breakdown right here if you wanted to, hold on for a while longer. But this is not scalping. This is day trading for maybe half an hour to a couple hours. And then what do? This is a 1-minute chart. You consolidate, wait for the breakdown. This breakdown happened right here. Okay, I might have opened up a short right here. It went back up, but it's okay because the stop loss would have been right there. You come back down and your price target somewhere down here. Now, these are tiny scalps, so usually with Bitcoin, you're probably not going to be doing this, but you may be doing it with something more volatile like Ethereum, a Dogecoin, anything really besides Bitcoin. Because if you do it with Bitcoin, then you're going to notice, like, hey, open the trade right there. This is up 0.26%. You know, with a 10x leverage, that's only like 2.5%, not really going to kill you there. Come down here, you're at 0.66. That's about 6% right there, I think. Yeah, 6.6% with a 10x leverage, so that's a little bit nicer. And that's where you kind of scalp with the 10x leverage. You can go higher if you want to. Some people go 25 from here, but usually once you kind of break that whatever support is found right here, it usually works out. Now you gotta wait for like usually a larger drop here. So because we're at a support level now, there's no real breakdown here. See how there's no like level. That's a breakout that happened, but I wouldn't trade that one. There's a breakout that happened there. I still wouldn't trade that one because I don't trade breakout in the down market. Okay, same thing here. Support, breakdown. You could trade that for a longer trade, and it seems to work out pretty well. However, have that little bump. We break down right here. Pops up a little bit more, and that's the stop loss. You trade it down here. It may hit, it may not. You can see it didn't really hit the support level as much as we might have wanted it to, and this is where maybe it doesn't work out in your favor. But what you can do is, because you take the buy position right here, your stop loss is right here. I guess technically it never hit the stop loss. You even could have doubled down off of a kind of almost a double top right here, break down, retest, then come back down if you wanted to. And then maybe hit your price target over here. But since you're scalping, you're usually only in there for a few minutes at a time, maybe up to a half an hour. But I guess if you really wanted to be like extra nerdy about this specific one, low, high, low. Oh, I guess, yeah, that one target's right there, but you didn't hit this one until over here. So it could have worked out, I guess, but, you know, you might have had to bend, it might have turned more into a day trade instead of a scalp. And then how has it worked out since then? Well, actually, I don't know in this time, since we've kind of been going on for a while, I don't know during this time if the 4 hours kind of leveled out, if the MACDs have been crossing over and stuff, because we're kind of getting way past some of these drops that we've been talking about. Yeah, you can see how we've kind of going more sideways here. The 4 hour and stuff, we're probably seeing something different. This was a dump. We wouldn't have been trading that. Momentum shifting down here. I still don't know if that would have been something we've been trading, because the 4 hour. Oh, I should have put a thing here. But yeah, sum it up. That's kind of what I'm looking at there as far as how I do some of these trades. I'm a little bit different than other people. Sometimes if you want to, you can do some really aggressive trades when the market is crashing, when the market is really booming. But usually, if you want something like a subtle day trade or a subtle scalp, that's a subtle scalp for me. It's a strategy that works a lot. It's like kind of, think of change of character, which I made those tutorials on. I'll make some more for you guys. But you're just doing the change of character in your head, and you're just seeing that support be broken down, and you understand the momentum is shifting, and you're like, okay, well, the momentum overall is going down. I see a confirmation of that on like a smaller time frame chart. Let's enter in there. You can see I did not get the best opportunity to short, but I just held and comes down. You know, so that's kind of how I use that for scalping. But I don't scalp too much, so you know, usually I do 1 to 2 hour trades, I would say. You know, because I'm working on something on the side, then I'm kind of watching the charts. Maybe if I go over here to my Fairdesk account, I can maybe show you some of my copy trades. Maybe I can see how long I've been in some of those trades, because those ones usually have a little bit shorter time frame, because I consider those more work than personal trades. Because usually I'm having a personal trade, but I go more aggressive on those ones, just so I'm okay taking the extra risk. I'd rather you guys not have extra risk if you guys don't need it. Yeah, so like this, I know it's going to be hard for you guys to see, but this one I opened up at 5:45, it closed at 6:30. This one opened up at 20:20, then it closed at 1:32, 14:05. This was a while later, 1:32, 14:05, 1:32. While later, 3 hours later, 3, 4 hours later, 3, 4 hours later. These were all 1 AM. So yeah. This trade right here didn't work out, but everything else did. That's why I like doing these trades, because I think people assume that us trading people on YouTube, we get most of our trades right. I guess we do, but some people think we're not supposed to lose at all. And I've made 75 trades. I've lost 10 trades. Okay. However, the profit for everybody following me has been about $1,100. My profit overall for this account has been 7-day follower profit. I'm here somewhere. Am I not here? 7-day follower profit. I know I should be here somewhere. Oh, maybe it updated. 7-day profit. Okay, maybe on page 2. Oh no, I'm right there. Okay, $34 on this account. But this is why I do $100 trades with 10x leverage. Because that's what I said, people can copy me. It's a very minimal level. If I do my personal account, maybe I'm doing $1,000 10x leverage. But my point being, what is that? What is my wallet account at? Here, hold on a second here, guys. Okay, yeah, so it's at $5,364. So I put $5,000 into this account to set it up for copy trading for you guys. And this is like an account I do some day trading and stuff with. I need to pull out some money there. It's a little over $2,000. But so far the account has made $364.94. Okay, I'd say that's decent for just trading for I think about 2 months now, growing a small account bit by bit, doing small trades. Because up until 2 weeks ago, I was at $50 at 10x leverage. Now I'm at $100, and I may actually move it up a little bit more. But usually I give people a little bit of an update to say, hey everybody, I'm about to go up to $200. So if you're following my trades exactly to the dollar, now you're going to be doing $200 trades at 10x instead of $100 trades at 10x. And I may actually go 150 or something like that in between. But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on how people are looking at it. Because normally, if you guys want to see how much money I place on the trade, you guys can just follow my trades and say, but it'll be in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So it'll be like half a Bitcoin, a quarter of a Bitcoin, 0.05 Bitcoin, something like that, which is kind of weird. And no worries, one shot. Hey, Zacher. Do I think you could look at ARPA chain? I've scaled out about 30% and plan on scaling another 20% at 1010. Not sure how to read it if it surpasses 10 ARPA. Let's go over here very fast. Oh, let's go to this one. I don't want to go to the perpetual futures. Okay, so you scaled out 30% and you want to scale another 20% at 10 cents. Okay, this one's kind of having a fast grind as we talk, isn't it? Daily having a pretty big spike. Right there, you're at 9.5. Right there, you're about 11 cents. Okay, so that's that big zone you're probably seeing right now. How low point? Let's go over to the weekly chart very fast. Magnetize this up. Okay, how's this been working for us so far? Or has it been working for us so far? A little bit, not much. A little bit, okay. Okay, and what's above this? This is a line here, so this is the next one. So it looks like 0.108, so like almost 11 cents is that next Fibonacci level. But right now, it looks like it's having a pretty nice pop. Stop loss would probably be around 0.075 at this point, since you're already making some good profit. But as this thing wants to pump up a little more, let's go to the 5-minute chart. I mean, you can really have your stop loss all the way down here if you want to be a little more aggressive with it at 0.068. But you want to see... So not sure how to read it if it goes past 10. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour chart then if you want to look after 10 cents. If it decides to go above 10 cents here, which let me get rid of all this other stuff here. Let's just make this go there. Let's... There you go. Is there any actual level of resistance here? A little bit, okay. You'd really be looking at a pretty large sell zone between, I want to say, 0.093, and that'd drag you all the way up here to about 0.1274. So really anywhere above 10 cents, if you get an opportunity to sell it, you could. You might have to start having those scale out limits. They'll get closer and closer and closer together. Almost like how when we were doing Dogecoin back in the day, you know, we didn't really sell anything until Dogecoin got to 50 cents, but at the same time I bought at 0.0024, so it was that huge time when there wasn't really that many scale outs happening. Then all of a sudden 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents, and on and on and on. So I would really say that this 0.093 level going up to 0.1274 level is really that golden space to sell. What I would do though, since it already has had a pretty nice move, I might have a stop loss right over here at 0.064 if it gets back up here, and then I might be scaled out up here around 80% of whatever you have left, or maybe 70% depending on how aggressive you want to be, and then just let it sit out a little bit longer and see if it can go up even more, because at this point Bitcoin is still at a large support level. Even if this dies down for a few days, as long as it doesn't break down below this, or most likely below this level, it could always actually rebound and go well above 15 cents, 16 cents down the road. But for a short-term move, since it's happening as we speak, really something that I'd probably say is 9.5 cents to 12 cents. Fine. Oh, it's 9.5 to 12.5 cents. Seems like a good level to actually start scaling out larger amounts at. But you could either sell it all here, wait for the pullback and get back into it if you wanted to, or you could just have a small position of what you've bought over here and just let it kind of ride over here with 10% left and then wait for that next rebound if Bitcoin and Ethereum are able to kind of bounce off of those weekly moving averages there. And hey Rohit, happy to see you back. RNDR. I think this one's been going down for a while, but let me see. Yeah, what a weird breakdown. Look at that. Had a breakdown, didn't even do anything. Okay, nice little double bottom, double top, excuse me. Okay, let's go over here to the weekly chart first. This is not the one I'm thinking of. Oh no, maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen this one in a while. So as far as the weekly chart, you're still pretty bullish here. It's had some pretty nice moves. I wouldn't necessarily be buying it, but this seems like it wants to go up week by week. At this point, you're kind of looking at a little bit of resistance popping up here, just as a little bit of a channel building up. But let's go back over here to the daily chart. Let's see how bad things are getting as far as extension levels. Yeah, you're just getting hit up with that one right now. It's nothing terrible. What you'd probably want to see is us breaking back above this 278 level. And then from there, I don't think you're going to get up here to $5 or anything like that. But I do think it could actually help you get back up here towards $3.30. And I do think that'd be a really good level to start scaling out of. For now, let me get my square back out here. I'd give this a pretty generous box, so to speak. If you were looking for a really good selling zone and you wanted to wait for it to break out above here, because right now you are at a scale out zone. If you wanted to see it go a little bit higher, I would have that minimum level be around $3.08, going all the way up here to $4.08. Wow, pretty good dollar level at that point. And then from there, let's see what we can find out here. This is much shorter time frame. Here, this one is a little higher. Let's just get the mana out there. Hit, support, a little bit of resistance there. Anything above that? No, not really. Okay. There's not really a good zone here because this huge spike that we had coming out of nowhere on Binance. I guess we could take a look at it though, just in case. Anything in there? Okay, kind of, it almost splits the middle here, around $3.58. I would still say that's a pretty good selling zone here, but if you want to be buying it, it's a short-term buy if you ask me. I'd wait for more of a pullback here. Usually when I see something that's already been kind of booming off for a while, I usually don't hop into it, but you're so far away from any large breakdowns and stuff like that. So you can see right now we have this one. We already did have a breakdown here a while ago, but you can see it really didn't amount to anything. It was a little, I don't even want to call that, but just nothing happened. I guess this happens more with altcoins here, but yeah, so there you go. Can we add something small here? Let me go to log. Let's go over to log price bar ratio. Let me see if I can add on a angled line here for you. Let's go to 45. Let's go over here. Do I have a GAN fan on here? I do. Now this is a shorter time frame one, so I'm not entirely sure if it'll work out much. You can see that resistance right there, that resistance right there. Let's go to Magnet, lock it in there. Let's go to a 50-minute chart. Auto. Of support. Short term I'd use probably this GAN fan over the last 4-hour chart or so. On the upper end of this though, yeah, that's really up here towards 430. That's kind of the high point of what we were talking about as far as that that rectangle here. I'd still feel more comfortable selling around the 350s, 360s, because it is in a nice move right now. You have a decent level of support. This is a smaller GAN box, so take it with a grain of salt. Well, not grain of salt, but you can see some resistance here, some resistance here. Yeah, it's been working out okay for us. That next level, though, seems to be way up here on 439. I would still use that first box we talked about and look to sell it kind of more in this middle zone up here between, 330, 430 or so. But it looks fine to me right now. But that's if you want to buy it from here. It still looks like it's something worth holding at this point. Let's go over here to daily. There we go. Remember, Bitcoin's momentum just shifted today as well to going bullish for the first time in I don't know how many weeks. Since the first time since April 16th. That's a little over a month from now, from today. A month going back in time, Jesus. Is there a limit to how long you can stay in a trade with leverage on Bybit? Can I stay in a long trade for 6 months? I haven't seen any limits when it comes to trading with leverage. I would contact their help support system just to have a confirmation, but I have never had a problem just holding a position for a long period of time, personally. But there might be some type of increased fee or something like that. But, you know, usually I've only seen increased problems with that when it comes to margin trading and not trading with futures. I don't think so, but don't take my word on it. I would contact their support just to make sure. I have a Bybit contact, but I don't talk to him too much. He doesn't like me. That's what he call. I don't promote Bybit too much. But what do you call? I don't think so. But again, go confirm that. How's it there? Let's see right here. Blurcoin, is that the ticker itself? It is. I guess Blur. Let's go with Binance here. Okay, maybe not. Bybit. There we go. Okay. It's been having a pop over the last 2 days. The pop seems to be about 25%. So be careful if you guys are buying into this now. If you guys are looking at this in the shorter term. Oh wow, this is a stop loss city right here. This would be breaking so many people's stop losses, shorts and longs here. Okay, so be careful with this one. Usually it looks like you want to be buying during a slow consolidation period and not so much during when all the ruckus is happening. I mean, this thing just had a really big pop and it just sold off immediately, so be careful of this one. If it can come back down to the support level over here, it might be worth buying some up. At this point, probably not, but as far as how far this thing can go, really don't have any many good levels of support over here. Let's see. $15. Okay, it did a little bit here, but not really too much. Go back to that 4 hour. Just want to make sure this is working out for us. Hitting. Oh, that's why we're getting rejected just a little bit off of the 200 moving average here on the 4 hour chart. I mean, I could still see us going back up here to at least 59 cents, maybe even all the way up here towards 64. I would say this would be my selling zone. If you're buying anywhere right now, this would be the selling zone. If it goes higher, awesome. I wouldn't be holding it at that time unless it's like a 10%, 20% leftover stake in it. But I would say if you're looking to buy right now, I would look to probably sell anywhere between 0.59, 59 cents to 63 cents, 64 cents or so. I think that'd be the safe play right here. I guess obviously it would have been hindsight been pretty nice to just trade the breakout here, see how it held support for a while before making a larger move up. But since we're here, we were at a support level. I guess there was another opportunity to buy some. But here, since it's still moving, you know, I would probably try to hold this for maybe a week or so and see if this can make its way back up to maybe 64, 63 cents. But it's definitely been moving up quite a bit one shot. Gold? Let me actually type in gold because gold's not on this watch list here. Not crypto coin. TVC is going to be fine for us right now. You want a 15-minute chart? Oh, okay, we're open. What the hell happened to gold today? Okay. Oh, looks like a good opportunity to buy gold is coming up in the next few days. Alright, so you're looking pretty darn bearish here on gold in the weekly and daily charts. 4 hour chart still consolidating here. Hopefully you can get a reversal out of this. Let me just draw some technicals on here so I can kind of see what's going on. Okay, you're already at the top of this, so I would assume that 15 minutes is going to be a little bit more bearish here. Yeah, you're already seeing the crossover is about to happen. You already had the breakdown here after the breakdown there. Yeah, Okay, so on the 50-minute chart, I do think this is a little bit more bearish here. If you want to get more excited about this and you want to see the a good reason to buy, I would wait for the breakout to occur, wait for it to retest, and then I'd play that buy right there, and then I'd wait for the big pop there. Now, in the short term here, though, I mean, honestly, you know, this is gold. It's not going to be moving up a whole bunch, but gold is still pretty fun to trade. Let's kind of see how this Fibonacci level would look at this point. Let's move this over here. Let's, how does it look right here? Oh, it doesn't let me do that. Oh, I don't have log on, that's why. Oh, I shouldn't make too much of a difference now anyway. No, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Okay. If you wanted to buy into this, I would say I'd look to buy in sometime between 1968 and 1965, and then hopefully can stick to this higher low thing that's been working out, and then I'd probably try to do that. Now, do we have any data coming out? Dollar fall, New Zealand's dollar. No, that's too much. Okay. Trying to think. 9 a.m. Yeah, if you could buy it under 1972, I think you'd be fine. At this point, it seems like a lot of the big problems that we're seeing right now, they seem to be coming after the debt talks, excuse me, I think that's what I was reading over here. It probably would be wiser to hold this, but in the short term, you're probably going to be looking for a dip for a buying opportunity. It's currently 7:46 right now, so you're probably going to have like 5-6 hours to really try to see if this thing comes back down and try to buy it during that time frame. After that, I'd probably be looking to buy it and hold on for a breakout if we hear something like, oh, negotiations have stalled again, things are not looking so good, the debt talks are falling apart, yada yada. You know, they have the news likes to stir up stuff. That's what I'd be looking for. But right now, I think in the short term, I'm a little bit more bearish over the next 5-6 hours. You know, you're probably going to have a dip in there, and that dip is what I'd be looking to buy personally at this point. Anyways, no worries, Zach. I hope you're doing well. Bybit went full KYC. Oh, yeah. And one shot. I mean, a new token. Oh, if it has a very low market cap, you can just actually hold that and just let it sit for a while. If it's a new token, sometimes it takes a few days of really some crazy volatility, and that can really get some explosions there. And Powell speaking tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's going to have a big effect on the gold prices too. Volatility-wise, it won't just cause a huge move and it'll stay up there, but it will cause some volatility. But okay, buddy, I'm going to call it a night here. It's been a cool 2 hours here talking with you guys. Jeez, I've just been talking so much, I'm burping. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be streaming. A recap of some of the things that are going on in my life here. My tooth is still busted, so I will be going to see a dentist here pretty soon about that. I don't think the opioids are going to make me totally crazy, but if they do, we'll see how I react on stream. I don't think it'll be something bad. And then sometime next month or early July, I'm going to try to take my mother to Las Vegas. So that's going to be something there. It'll only be 2 days, so I won't be streaming for those 2 days. It'll probably be a Monday. No, we'll leave a Sunday. We'll spend the whole day there Monday. We'll leave back on Tuesday. That way she has like 2 days, 3 days really to kind of have fun in Vegas, to rent a scooter and go out and have fun. I think we're going to have a pool day or something. But I got to rent her a scooter so she can, like I said, scoot around Vegas. So she'll have a good time there. I just don't know what the time is yet, so we'll see. But I think I'm going to take her to either the Bellagio or the Aria. And I think right now, I'm going to take her to the Aria because the Aria is just a little bit nicer. And there's no guarantee that I'll get her the fountain view when it comes to the Bellagio. But I just want her to be able to have a nice little place to relax when she's not out. She loves to play slots, so when she's not playing the slots and stuff. And we're going to go get some food and stuff at the Bellagio. I think I told her I promised her the Bellagio buffet, so she's going to like that one a lot. So what do you call? Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll look forward to some more videos coming out as well. I'm going to be doing some more update videos now that I'm kind of back on my computer. My tooth isn't like causing a complete agony. So see you guys tomorrow, everybody, and thanks again.